Alright everybody, and welcome to part 8 of the Pokemon Gold walkthrough, where we are starting off with a trainer battle over in Route 34. I apologize for this part a little bit ahead of time, because I'm not extremely prepared for the trainers in this area, as I did not test play this one beforehand, and I just went right through with it, and I'm going to end up paying for it a little bit. I'm not going to be losing any Pokemon, but the battles are going to be a little bit slower than usual. Majority of it is because I wanted to get Wooper a little bit higher in level, because he's under-leveled compared to everyone else, but he doesn't have really any high-powered moves like some of the other guys do in order to take him out, so it's going to be a little bit painful to watch. I soon switch out with Pidgey in order to get myself the Pidgeotto, because I'm only one level off, so that makes it a little bit easier. But here we are, once again, Route 34, my bad. Some little grass areas here. You can get some pretty good Pokemon in this area. A couple hidden items. We're only going to be showcasing one in this part, because the other ones you need Surf first, and when I do get Surf, we'll be coming back for it later. Anyways, Pokemon stats going on here. Gold and Silver versions, you can capture yourself a Drowsy in this area. Also with the Crystal version, 50% at all times of the day. Unless you're playing the Crystal version, there's only a 30% chance at nighttime. Rattata, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, 35% all the way around, 30% for Crystal version. Snubbles only in the Crystal version, level 10, 30% in the morning and the afternoon. Pidgey again, Crystal version only, 20% morning and afternoon, not at night for either of those two. You can run into an Abra 10% throughout the whole entire times of the day, Gold, Silver, and Crystal version. Ditto as well, however, Ditto you only have a 5% chance of running into, so if you want to catch yourself an Abra or Ditto, you're going to be going around a lot. However, it doesn't matter. Again, any time of the day that you're out, it'll always be out there. Crystal version, you can run into a Jigglypuff, 5%, all across as well. Also in the Crystal version, you have chances of running into a Hoot Hoot, level 12, 20% only at nighttime. And then as far as Headbutt goes, Sparrows, level 10. In fact, again, all the Headbutts are level 10s all across the board. And let's see here, Sparrow, Crystal version only, 80% level 10. Again, Caterpie Weedles, they look all exactly the same, except for in Crystal version, you have two differences. You can get yourself a Heracross, 30% by doing Headbutt, and an Apom, 20% by using Headbutt. So those are the two differences that you'll be finding in here as opposed to Ilex Forest. With the old rod, again, just as usual, Magikarp, 85% chance. This time, however, 15% chance you are able to get yourself a Krabby. So if you really want that, then there you go. You'll be able to fish for it around Route 34. We are going against the look of Snubble, which I'm not exactly sure. It's like a gender-confused dog. It's okay. Granbull, when you evolve to a Granbull, I think that's how you pronounce it anyways, it actually becomes pretty good. It's got a pretty decent high attack and defense stat. And again, because of the fact that I'm trying to use Wooper, I'm not able to damage it as much as I would like. So instead I switch out with Pidgey, because again, as I said before, since Pidgey's only one level off from evolving, I figured I'd use Pidgey to just get it out of there. Also because I wanted to try and get these battles done as quickly as possible, and I should have done a test playthrough ahead of time to make sure that I had the right setup for every single trainer. I didn't. I apologize. Around Route 34, this is the route before you head up into Goldenrod City, the most populated and biggest city in all of Pokemon. Well, at least in Gens 1 and 2. I think I read somewhere that in all of Pokemon right now, it's the third largest city, and that two others outweigh it in some way. I'm not exactly sure. I've never played numbers 4 and 5, to be honest. On Route 34, you can go into the daycare center, which I will be showcasing here in a bit, because I don't need Togepi at the moment, so I figure I'd let them go ahead and raise them. Whereas, when you go into the daycare center, you can have two Pokemon stay at a time. Give one to the Mr., give one to the Mrs. It's $100 per level that they evolve. Now, the rate that they evolve, I'm not exactly sure. I've heard by some people they go up one level every single day they're in there, and I've heard some others where it depends on the experience that they have, and it keeps going on more time-wise. I can't exactly say, but the longer it stays there, obviously, the more they're going to level up, the more you're going to be owing to them in order to get them out of the daycare center. One of the main things about it that's not so good is that the daycare, Mr. and Mrs., they will throw on any move that they please on the Pokemon that you're letting stay there, so you have no control of that. So if they end up getting rid of a move that you really enjoyed having to give it a much weaker move, that's gonna be one of the problems that you're gonna be running into here. So keep an eye on that. Usually when it comes to the daycare center, I don't let any Pokemon stay there unless it's one I absolutely know I'm not going to use, and I just keep it there for fun, as I'm going to be doing with Togepi. But anyways, we just got Pidgey up to level 18, and yes, we just finished the first, actually no, not the first guy, what am I talking about, the third guy. And Pidgey's going to be evolving into Pidgeotto. As far as the trainers go, on Route 34, there are 2 of them that you can talk to and get their phone numbers for rematches if you want to. We haven't fought them yet. It's going to be It's going to be the girl to the left, in between a lot of the grass patches, and the youngster all the way on top. Now there is I guess you can call it a hidden trainer in this area that is the police officer. I believe if your head Pokemon, the one up in front, by the way, this girl that just noticed us, so we're going to be battling, she's one of the ones you can get the phone numbers of that I was talking about earlier. The policeman, he will not use the exclamation point, he will not notice you unless you go up and talk with him. And I believe that if your starting Pokemon's level is under 20, he will challenge you to a battle. If it is over 20, obviously he's just going to say your Pokemon looks strong, so there you go. But again, it's the head Pokemon. If any of your other Pokemon are level 20, there's no big deal about it. You just got to put the weakest one that you have in the very front if it's under 20, and he will challenge you into a battle. He only has 1 Growlithe, and I think, from what I understand, there are only 2 policemen that you can fight in this, and I believe the second one also only has a Growlithe. If not, he probably has 2 Growliths. So there you go. Not so much other to really talk about as far as this route goes. It's a very short, simple route, and I mean, there's really not much to discuss. It's just a bunch of trainer battles. It's just like Route 32 that we were in before going into Union Cave, basically. Not a lot of hidden items. Only one of them is hidden, and the one that we're going to be finding is within the daycare center. There's an area in there that you can go get to. As you can see with this trainer, she has a Bulbasaur, one of the starters from Generation 1, so if you do take her phone number for rematches, you will soon go against an Ivysaur and then a Venusaur. If you want to do it for nostalgia's sake, then there you go. I didn't really care so much. I just wanted to show off the whole entire phone system first, and that was it. But you come over here right next to where the lake is, and you just take a look at that one little area, and there you go. You get yourself a nice little super potion. Everything else we have to wait until we get Surf, because with Route 34, there's a hidden area. Once you learn Surf and you go to the river area to the left, and you take it down going south, you're going to find an open field area. There you're going to be having 3 trainers to battle that have also 3 hidden items around them. Now there's the policeman that we talked to. Again, I believe if you're under level 20, you can go against him. In fact, let me look that up really quick since I really don't have anything else. It's not exactly saying what level it needs to be, but like I said, I do believe it has to be under level 20 in order to fight against him. And it's just a really quick one, just level 17 Growlithe, nothing too complex to go against. As I said, there's really not much to say with this part, other than the fact that the move that Growlithe just used, Roar, which we will be attaining later, now that we have the move cut, I guess I could go back and get it now, but I kind of want to wait until I get the HM Surf and the HM Strength first, because then I have all the AHMs needed to explore all the previous caves before moving on. The move that he just used is called Roar, and it's a non-damaging move, as you saw with it. Basically, it puts your Pokemon back in the Pokeball, and then you bring out a new one. This youngster right here, I do believe it's a youngster anyways, is another one that when you finish going against him, you can talk to him and he'll give you his phone number. He's a picnicker, camper, whatever. I believe this is one of the trainers, and I'm not sure how many other do this, but I believe if you take his phone number, when you come back to battle him, not only will his Psyduck evolve into Golduck, but he will also have caught another 1 or 2. I think he might have caught 2 more Pokemon for you to fight as well. So that's a pretty cool thing that they added in there. I wish they kind of did with every single trainer, but I'm not exactly sure. This guy was like the only one I remembered that when you did a rematch, he had more than just one Pokemon with him, so I'm not exactly sure. However, thank God he is the final guy we are going to be going against, and that's really good because, like I said, I've run out of crap to say. And this is the final guy, like I said, we're going against. We're heading up into the new Goldenrod City that we will be checking out in the next part, where there is going to be a hell of a lot more to say, so I'll catch you guys then.